Hello, good evening, and welcome to CxO Global TV, a platform, a YouTube channel for the largest knowledge sharing platform, CxO Global Forum. Today, we have with us our esteemed guest, very interesting personality, Mr. Junaid Ahmed. He is the Director, Business Enterprise for Global Messaging Services, GMS. Assalamu alaikum, Junaid, how are you?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Walaikum assalam. Alhamdulillah. All is good.
We are very delighted to have Junaid. Before we went live, we were having a very interesting conversation, which parts of it which cannot be broadcast live. But having said that, we'll get into the business of the show directly. Junaid, we would like to know for our viewers and our members and the people watching the show and the people who will watch the show later, something that is not on your LinkedIn profile, on the CXO profile, on your resume, or whatever documents that carry your profile. I want to know who is Junaid Ahmed.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, first of all, for inviting me here. And yes, some of the discussion cannot be shared. You're absolutely right about it. Um, if I think I'll just take you back to my overall journey, and that journey will tell you who I exactly I am, and that is
Sure.
very important. That you know. So so I've spent 25 years. That is my experience, and I took a flight consciously in the technology industry 25 years ago when
25 years ago.
yeah. When this whole thing was starting, the boom was starting in the internet industry, the software industry, the hardware industry, the handset industry, the telecom industry. That was a start of the boom. And I saw there was a flight going, and I thought it is better to sit in this flight, and it will take me somewhere. And Alhamdulillah, after 25 years, I can easily say, yes, the flight went well. Um, but to be very honest, this experience has been quite diversified and quite interesting actually for me. And I always call it a blessed journey for me. You know why blessed? Because uh, I've worked for an internet company. I have worked for a data service provider. I have worked for a handset manufacturer. I've worked for a hardware solution provider. I've worked for a telecom operator. Then I've worked and connect, and then with an e-commerce company, and then eventually a messaging company. And
Wow.
from from a local company to large blue chip companies, I have worked in different departments as well. So from sales to marketing to product development to project management specifically, and then into setting up the legal entities, and which I'm currently doing as well, and the finance department. So when you say that, I can easily say that there are very less people who have an overall experience of working in every part of the
A
ICT and
holistic
telecom.
experience.
Yes. And that's a diversified experience. And interestingly, more important thing is the when you work with different cultures as well. So local companies, local culture. Then I work with Britishers, with Americans, with Western
So there's a
Europeans.
diversified
Yeah, yeah.
cross-cultural
And
exposure.
currently the CIS countries. I'm working with mostly with people in
Wow.
the Eastern Europe side, which is Ukrainians and all that. So I think that experience and all this diversity gives you a lot of not only just knowledge, but actually it makes you quite a humble person and a better human being, which I could easily say what I was 25 years ago. So a much better person than what I was a long time back. So I think this is something
Great, great.
which I take pride about in terms of diversity. And I think बंदा मार खा के सीख जाता है. So that's the bottom line, I would say. बंदा मार खाता है, and then this grilling and drilling makes you a better person.
Of
Anyhow,
course, of course. But I want to know what made you embark this flight? क्या
you
क्या
know,
सोच थी 25 साल पहले?
a lot of people come to you, and a lot of people say this thing that मैं जाना इधर चाह रहा था, लेकिन अचानक मेरी जिंदगी में ये हुआ और मैं उधर चला गया. नहीं सर, ऐसे नहीं था. मेरे साथ
Hmm.
ऐसे नहीं था. It was very clear. When I completed my MBA, all of my friends, majority of my friends, they were moving into FMCG, uh,
Hmm. Hmm.
which is generally a growth path after MBA
Which is
generally.
standard after
या
your
या या
MBA, business school,
मीडिया
यानी
में
कि
जा
कोई
रहे थे, जी
भी
जी,
पेप्सी, कोक में
एब्सोल्युटली,
जाके काम करना है, बिल्कुल।
मीडिया इंडस्ट्री में जा रहे थे, एफएमसीजी में जा रहे थे, या अ, ये जो एडवर्टाइजिंग एजेंसीज में जा रहे थे,
हुँ,
दिस इज व्हाट इट वाज वेयर दे
बिल्कुल,
वर मूविंग.
बिल्कुल।
And I could see that there is nothing new about it. I could see the technology is going to grow, and this
हुँ,
thing
हुँ,
was in me. Why? Because मेरी फैमिली में भी कुछ फैमिली मेंबर्स भी हैं जो कि सारे कंप्यूटर साइंस हैं, और इस टेक्नोलॉजी इंडस्ट्री के साथ उनका लिंक है, एंड
सही,
ऑल दैट.
सही।
So I think that made excited me, and I always felt technology बनाना, and I still believe this thing. टेक्नोलॉजी 25 साल पहले भी यही सोचता था, आज भी मैं यही कहता हूँ कि टेक्नोलॉजी बनाना बहुत बड़ा कमाल नहीं है, उसको बेचना, उसको एडवर्टाइज करना, उसके बारे
उसको
में लोगों
चलाना,
को,
ट्रू।
जी, दैट इज द की. आपने इंजन बना लिया बहुत आला, और उसके अंदर जहाज में बैठा ही कोई नहीं है, तो फायदा क्या? So you need to make sure that the engine is running with full capacity as well. It's not
यस।
that you have a technology, you have everything, and nobody's using it. What's the use of it? So that's
They
why
say the
that.
technology is only as good as the people that are
Yeah,
using it, and then yeah,
absolutely right. Absolutely right. But I think that this is one of the reasons why I came into the technology industry. Just saw the future
ज़बरदस्त।
some.
So
अल्लाह की
that
तरफ
tells
से आया, हमने कोई नहीं वैसे सोचा होता, लेकिन but it ended up alhamdulillah very well.
No, I think that tells me that two things, and I think our viewers will appreciate that you're a man with a vision and foresight. Like you said, कि जी सारे या तो media, advertising, FMCG में जा रहे थे. You had the vision and foresight of something that will develop in the future. That's one. Two, you also recognize that technology is an enabler only as good as the people that are using it. That's a brilliant take out. So tell us something about your current assignment, which is GMS, Global Messaging Services. I got to know ये जो हमारा WhatsApp है ना, ये आप लोग चलाते हैं, पता नहीं इसमें क्या क्या
Yeah,
करते हैं,
yeah,
क्या पढ़ते हैं, और पता नहीं क्या हो रहा है हमारे साथ, लेकिन WhatsApp के बगैर दुनिया नहीं है. अब तो सेम कमरे में भी बैठ के लोग एक दूसरे को WhatsApp कर रहे होते हैं. So global
yeah.
messaging services, what is the
So I think,
whole?
yes, you are absolutely right. Well, Kar, I think we are basically, GMS is a Global Message Services, is basically an international messaging company for the mobile operators and for the enterprises worldwide. So
Okay,
when I specifically say mobile operators, which means that थोड़ा सा टेक्निकल हो जाएगा, लेकिन मैं briefly बता देता हूँ, and then I'll go to the real part which people will understand more easily actually.
sure,
So for the mobile operators, we provide A2P, P2P, P2A services, and the future technologies such as RCS, which is rich communication services, and also some managed services and all that. And on the
sure,
enterprise side, we provide multi-channel or omni-channel solutions. And within that is obviously messaging, it is push services, it is OTT messenger services. OTT messenger में आता है आपका WhatsApp, Viber, and all these things. ये OTT
सही,
messenger services में आ जाते हैं, email services and all that. And then obviously customer engagement, how the customer engagement is done within these enterprise industry. Some voice solutions as well, voice messages and all that. So this is what the company does worldwide. But we are a Swiss-based company. We are present in 6 countries, but we are connected with more than 1,000 mobile operators worldwide. We are connected
wow,
with more than
1,000
500
mobile
global
operators.
enterprises worldwide. और लोकल भी मिला लें तो ये अप्रोक्सीमेटली 3,000. या सो सबको मिला लें तो कोई 3,000 प्लस एंटरप्राइजेस बन जाती हैं जिनके साथ कनेक्टेड हैं. एंड देन
Brilliant.
and we are the largest partners of Viber worldwide, and also partners of WhatsApp as well. And
Oh,
so my role is mostly, so my role is heading the enterprise division for the MENA and APAC region. And that this country is feasible, then we move into that country. So we started this research for Pakistan a couple of almost a year ago, and then now we've decided to enter this market in the messaging industry. We
hmm.
now the legal entity has been set up.
So you're new in
Exactly,
Pakistan?
but we were not a legal entity and all that support that. But now we want to open, Yeah, so now we want to open a proper office and make Pakistan a back-end office services to provide services to our customers in the MENA and Asia region and other regions. So this is going to be a back-end office to services to provide services to many of our operators and customers worldwide. And then also we want to start our local services of SMS and all these, which I mentioned in Pakistan as
ये अच्छा हुआ आपने बता दिया कि यू आर सेटिंग अप ऑफिस राइट नाउ, वरना हमारे व्यूअर्स और मैं ये समझता कि यू आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर जो जीतो पाकिस्तान के जो स्पैम मैसेजेस आते हैं और गेम शो में आप इतना इनाम जीत गए हैं वो भी जीएमएस वाले भेज रहे होते हैं। अच्छा हुआ आपने बता दिया, बिकॉज देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ स्पैमिंग एंड देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ मैसेजेस दैट कम इन फ्रॉम दीज गेम शोज एंड एवरीथिंग। पाकिस्तान में ये बहुत कुछ हो रहा है, वो GMS नहीं करता है। Junaid has nothing to do with this. They have to yet set up their operations and they're in the middle of it. So Junaid and the company have nothing to do with this. This is a clarification for all the viewers who are watching this and will watch
well.
this in future. Uh, what do you think is the role of messaging services both globally and in Pakistan in consumer engagement today?
देखिए, this is a very important question actually. Messaging industry, let me give you some of the facts and figures. पाकिस्तान में ना जो मैं थोड़ा सा आपको ये फिगर दे दूं कि पाकिस्तान में there are more than, out of those 106 million smartphone users, not the total users,
Yes.
106 million smartphone users, 75 million people are using WhatsApp. So that's 80 to 80 plus percent of usage. So messaging industry does not include, only one or only messages. It is a whole way of doing things. Now, how you communicate with your customer, how you engage your customers, and all that. ये वही चीज़ है कि आज से कोई 5-6 साल पहले जब डिजिटल एडवर्टाइजिंग आई और सोशल मीडिया एडवर्टाइजमेंट शुरू हुई तो
Mm. Mm.
कंपनीज ने इसको इतना सीरियस नहीं लिया एंड दे थॉट दैट because they were all doing
Today it's a
conventional
major tool.
या दे थॉट दैट चलो ये फिर आहिस्ता आहिस्ता वो 2% हुआ 5% हुआ टुडे इट इज with and then covid coming in this started now the companies all the large big MNCs and big companies they keep at least 30% of their budget in digital media के ऊपर वो spend कर रहे हैं
बिल्कुल,
and some
बिल्कुल।
companies are
And
even
it's
50
growing।
70%. Yeah,
हुँ,
because
हुँ,
the advantages they realized over time was कि आपको डेटा आ रहा है एग्जैक्ट स्टैट्स मिल रहे हैं कौन देख रहा है कौन क्या कर रहा है कितने क्लिक्स हो रहे हैं कौन वेबसाइट पे जा रहा है एंड ऑल दो थिंग्स
हुँ,
रादर देन
हुँ,
जी ये एक रोड है यहाँ से कोई 2 लाख गाड़ी गुजरती है और ये एक हमारा बिलबोर्ड लगा हुआ है उसको अब 2 लाख लोग देखते हैं मतलब
जी।
दैट इज समथिंग
assumption based है, this is actual data, वो तो assumptions पे है और speculations है। I agree।
the same thing applies in the messaging industry now.
हुँ,
It is this industry लोगों ने so communicating with your customers, engaging with your customers, whether you want to bring in new business, whether you want to send them some information. आपने कोई ई कॉमर्स की वेबसाइट पे जाके आपने कोई प्रोडक्ट खरीदी आपको एक मैसेज आ गया आप एटीएम गए आपने एटीएम से कुछ निकाला फौरी तौर पे आपको मैसेज आया अपडेट्स ओटीपी मैसेज जिसे कहते हैं वन टाइम कोई
हुँ,
ऐप डाउनलोड
हुँ,
किया और वन टाइम पासवर्ड आ गया
हुँ,
ट्रांजैक्शनल मैसेजेस आ रहे हैं स्कूल के बच्चों ने छुट्टी है आपको मैसेज आ गया यू नो this is a way of life which is becoming messaging
जी,
is not about
जी।
only messages it is about and it
Information,
can be medium messages is
it's a
just not
communication form now।
exactly and you have to understand it's not SMS it can be WhatsApp it can be apps different kind of apps it can be email it can be other mediums जो कि मैसेजिंग इंडस्ट्री को शेप कर रहे हैं and then with this current industry you have to understand the current generation which is the generation Z they are tech savvy people they are more digitally aligned and you see that if you do not provide customer services directly on WhatsApp today वो उनको फौरन जवाब चाहिए उनको फौरन the customer loyalty is gone so you see that
Yes,
this thing is becoming is shaping the overall industry and in the coming times this will become very important in terms of communicating and customer engagement सर्वेज हो रही हैं व्हाट्सएप के ऊपर सर्वेज हो रही हैं
there are
आप
polls,
immediate
surveys।
हो रहे हैं आप ये चेक कर रहे हैं there's so many usage of this messaging लोग सिर्फ अभी तक पाकिस्तान में ज्यादातर एसएमएस ही देख रहे हैं, but there are so
Hmm.
many, and that's what when we intend to come to Pakistan, we wanted to bring that global experience to Pakistan and
Hmm.
give Pakistan, people of Pakistan, an idea of what and how they can do this thing at a very low cost actually.
Hmm. Hmm. नहीं, and also see the youth, I feel are digital natives. मैं जो हूँ या
Yeah,
हमारी एज के जो लोग हैं, they are actually digital immigrants. We have actually migrated onto
absolutely
from
right.
analog to digital. But the kids that we have, the youth that we have, they're digital natives. As up keeping this in mind, how do you think that with these digital natives, what is the future of messaging in Pakistan, and what challenges do you see?
Pakistan mein, when we started uh, connecting with different. So, pehle to it's not. Although that there's a lot of work being done by the government in different areas, and a lot of good things are being done, but still, it takes a bit. It's still taking a little bit more time to enter. It took us a couple of months to enter this market because setting up a legal entity was not an easy task for us because the requirements set up by different departments of the government have not were quite difficult to meet. But yes, we went through that. We went through it and all that. But coming back to the messaging thing, I still think that there's, as I said earlier, there were about 20 billion messages that were approximately sent last year. A to P messages. This is when I say A to P, it
In
means
Pakistan alone?
जी 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 पाकिस्तान की बात हो रही है
अच्छा,
और ये मैं बात कर
okay.
रहा हूँ ये वो
20
मैसेज
billion.
20 बिलियन और मैं आपको ये बता रहा हूँ ये
WhatsApp
वो
included?
नहीं 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 ये व्हाट्सएप की बात नहीं हो रही है मैं सिर्फ एसएमएस की बात कर रहा हूँ एंड दिस 20 बिलियन
20
एसएमएस
billion
इज नॉट
SMS.
जी जी और ये ए टू
Wow.
पी एस ये ए टू पी एसएमएस यानी बिजनेस टू पर्सन एंड ऑल दैट ये वो नहीं है जो आप मुझे कर रहे हैं पी टू पी नहीं है इसकी बात नहीं हो रही है
My God.
जी जी
These
जी
are business to person 20
जी
billion
जी जी
messages
जी
in a year.
जी 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 जनाब एंड द
Wow.
ग्रोथ इज एक्सट्रीम एंड पाकिस्तान के अंदर एज आई सेड अर्लियर challenges sir challenges कुछ हैं in terms of but PTA is taking care of those challenges थोड़ा सा इलीगल मैसेजेस भी आते रहे हैं पीटीए ने काफ़ी इसको कंट्रोल कर लिया है और काफ़ी चीज़ें बेहतर हो रही हैं बट हैविंग सेड दैट द ग्रोथ people have only seen one side of it that is only sms they still have to see what whatsapp means what these messenger services can do to them शुरू किया है लोगों ने एंड उसकी इतनी implications हैं फॉर एग्जांपल मैं आपको एग्जांपल देता हूँ अ वेरी गुड एग्जांपल इज आप ऑल दीज ई कॉमर्स वेबसाइट जो बड़े बड़े ब्रांड्स हैं 30% ऑफ देयर सेल्स इज कमिंग फ्रॉम आउटसाइड पाकिस्तान आई मीन यू टॉक अबाउट बिग ब्रांड 20 से 30% उनकी सेल्स कहाँ से आ रही है यूएस से आ रही है यूके से आ रही है मिडिल ईस्ट से आ रही है ऑस्ट्रेलिया से आ रही है जब यहाँ से उनका चीज डिस्पैच होती है वहां तक जाती तो दे ऑल दे यूज इज मीडियम ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन क्या होता है ईमेल पे इनको चला जाता है कि जी आपका डिस्पैच हो गया एंड ऑल दैट
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल.
know what if this happens if the customer sitting on the other side in Canada gets a WhatsApp message straight away वो उसी वक्त चेक कर लेगा हाँ भाई ये हो गया ईमेल तो लोग चेक नहीं इतना करते ना वो कम होता जा रहा है so there are so many possibilities which we see which are going to start with Pakistan has to see a lot पाकिस्तान ने अभी कुछ नहीं देखा सर पाकिस्तान is
नहीं, I
actually
recently No, no. I actually, like I said, I am a digital immigrant. I'm not a digital native. So I learn by the hour, not even every day. I learn by the hour. Recently, I learned actually related to this messaging. कि in fintech, when you get an app or when you do mobile banking, तो आपके पास वो OTP भी आता है, message भी आता है.
yes
Now you can
yes
actually have that message on your WhatsApp. आपका balance कोई credit हुआ है, debit
exactly
हुआ है, तो अब आप WhatsApp से भी लिंक कर सकते हैं. दिस वाज न्यू लर्निंग फॉर मी. हम एसएमएस पे ही चल रहे थे कि यार मैसेज आएगा. मैसेज कभी ऑपरेटर चल रहा है, नहीं चल रहा, वो ऑपरेटर डाउन है. बट व्हाट्सएप, इफ यू आर कनेक्टेड टू वाईफाई, देन यू विल गेट दैट मैसेज. सो दैट्स वंडरफुल. So,
absolutely
how
absolutely
is GMS? I'm sure, like you said, 20 billion पाकिस्तान में messages सिर्फ A to B हुए हैं, business to person हुए हैं, and this does not include person to person messages. So, but how is GMS creating value? How does it plan to create value? Yeah, how is it different from other services available?
so सारी चीजें भी डिस्क्लोज नहीं करूंगा. I'll give you one
You
thing.
can disclose whatever sells your company. So this is a
So
free
no, no,
marketing,
no,
60
no,
seconds
no.
of marketing.
No, no. So I think it's not about. I'll tell you. Um, अभी क्या होता है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर ये आपने एसएमएस भेजना है तो आप किसी एसएमएस प्रोवाइडर से एसएमएस लेते हैं, यू गो टू द वेब पोर्टल एंड वहां पे आपने नंबर्स फीड किए, मैसेज चला जाता है. दैट इज वन थिंग. अगर आपकी अपनी
बिल्कुल।
ऐप है तो आप अपनी ऐप से पुश कर लेते हैं. अगर आपने ईमेल करनी है तो ईमेल के लिए भी डिफरेंट सॉफ्टवेयर हैं, वो यूज़ कर लेते हैं. अगर आपने व्हाट्सएप करना है या कोई और मैसेंजर सर्विसेज यूज़ करनी है तो वो आपने कोई और प्रोवाइडर होगा. Imagine all of these things are available on one web interface where you can do all these things. That is called
Wow.
communication platform as a service, CPaaS. So that is one of the advantage we will be giving. And then within that, if we can provide orchestration, which means SMS पे डिलीवर नहीं हुआ, WhatsApp पे हो जाना चाहिए. व्हाट्सएप पे नहीं हुआ, इसके थ्रू हो जाना चाहिए. सो अगर हम ये चीजें आपको दे दें एक प्लेटफॉर्म के ऊपर, एक वेब इंटरफेस के ऊपर, इट इज कन्वीनियंट फॉर द एंटरप्राइजेस, फॉर द कंपनीज टू गेट डू ऑल दीज थिंग्स in one place. This is just one thing which I'm sharing with you. More to come soon.
So, so, if I've understood you correctly, and अगर मैं एज अ डिजिटल इमिग्रेंट मैंने आपकी बात अगर समझ आई है, तो आपने तो सीआरएम की छुट्टी कर देनी है इस काम से.
नहीं, एक्चुअली सीआरएम तो इसके साथ कनेक्ट होता है, इस प्लेटफॉर्म के
वो
साथ.
तो कनेक्टेड है, लेकिन
जी जी
इन
जी.
दिन इटसेल्फ ये काफी होलिस्टिक मुझे लगा कि ये तो पूरा सीआरएम
Yes,
का सिर्फ काम कर रहा है.
and that is
हैव एन
exactly, and that
एपीआई
is
इंटीग्रेट एंड गुड टू गो.
exactly, and that is what CPaaS is all about. CPaaS, communication platform as a service. That is what the platform is. CRM भी इससे
वाओ.
कनेक्ट होता है, इससे बिलिंग भी कनेक्ट होती है, इससे ई कॉमर्स की साइटें भी कनेक्ट हो जाएंगी, इससे चैटबॉट भी कनेक्ट होते हैं. देयर आर सो मेनी पॉसिबिलिटीज which are linked with this thing. Yes.
So,
So
as a chatbot, आपका जो talk to as an app है, that can also connect into this. It can be integrated. External chatbots भी connect हो जाएंगे या इसका अपना chatbot होगा?
देखें, राइट नाउ वी विल स्टार्ट द सर्विसेज स्टेप बाय स्टेप, नॉट ऑल द सर्विसेज इमीडिएटली,
Okay,
क्योंकि बहुत सी
okay.
चीज़ें ऐसी हैं जो आपको लोकल लॉस को भी देखना है, लोकल हमें कुछ लाइसेंसेस भी हैं, तो उसको देख कर हम आहिस्ता आहिस्ता कुछ चीज़ें सर्विस स्टार्ट करें. बट एज आई सेड अर्लियर, all in one platform is good enough for everybody, because you
You
don't
have
want to.
actually made me excited about this whole thing.
अभी आपको सिर्फ
माशाल्लाह.
ये नहीं पता है कि अभी लोगों को इसकी फीचर्स नहीं पता कि किस किस जगह पे लोग इसका एडवांटेज ले सकते हैं. लोगों को भी बहुत कुछ चीजें नहीं पता. दे थिंकिंग एसएमएस कि जी भेजा और हमें रिस्पांस आएगा एंड ऑल दैट. देयर लॉट मोर टू इट कमिंग सून.
Inshallah.
दैट्स द
So
राइट.
where do you see GMS in Pakistan and this region that you manage, MENA and Asia Pacific, and especially in our country? Where do you see GMS 5 years from now?
आई थिंक
ये आपसे
नॉट
पूछने का एक
जस्ट
खास
मीना.
मकसद है, जो 25 साल पहले उस फ्लाइट पे चढ़ा था ना, वो 5 साल तो मुझे बड़े अच्छे बता देगा.
नहीं सर, आई थिंक ग्लोबली अगर मैं आप बात करूं तो ऑब्वियसली we want to expand in more countries. We want to be in the top 3 in the world right now. we're in we want to be in the top 3 in the world in this messaging industry, and want to expand and all that. But the GMS major investment is on its own people. That's the important thing. They invest in people, and I think that is the key to success of any industry anywhere. ये
ग्रेट.
अक्रॉस द बोर्ड ये है, जिन्होंने लोगों में इन्वेस्ट किया है वही ग्रो करते हैं. दैट्स द बॉटम लाइन. दैट्स व्हाट वी सी एंड दैट्स व्हाट वी आर डूइंग. सो बाकी चीजें तो सर वो तो स्ट्रेटजी है ना कि जी आपने टॉप 3 में जाना है, आपने फलां मुल्कों में
But it's
जाना
how
है.
you treat the people will
Yeah,
determine
yeah,
your growth. That's true.
absolutely.
Actually, there's a very famous question that's asked in top level interviews. If you were to choose between how to treat people and train people, what would you choose? So I think in your company and your organization chooses how you treat people, and then everything falls into place. My
That,
final question: how
yes,
does we've kind of understood and we're excited about how GMS is going to add value into the entire digital ecosystem, into the communication ecosystem. How do you think CxO Global Forum has added value to the digital ecosystem and to you as an individual?
I think it's again, as I said earlier, I hear a lot of people saying that, a lot of people say that this thing that, कि it's this forum is, it's a good place to connect people. I mean, connectivity बनती है, or and you can networking है, and some say that it is good for knowledge as well and all that. For me, ये दो चीजें हैं ही हैं. ये definitely ये दो चीजें हैं. But I think there is another area which CXO is doing and is important. Giving access to those people जो नई जनरेशन को इस फोरम पे लेकर आ रहे हैं, जो नए CXOs हैं, the ones who are going to be the next CEOs and all that, उसको उस पूरी नई ब्रीड को यहाँ पे लेकर आ रहे हैं. Not the ones जो कि already established हैं, वो भी हैं, but the big names and all those things. उससे हट के जो ना बहुत सारी दुनिया
जी
और भी है that has grown and has come to that, and bringing them on the ecosystem which you guys have done is amazing. And I think that is very big, because it's just a matter of time. You will see that these will be the ones who will be running all the industries in the next few years.
Great. Thank you very much, Junaid. Thank you for your time. It was lovely learning from you. It was thoroughly exciting to learn so many things. Thank you very much. Once the show ends, you will be getting a message from us also on WhatsApp and SMS, which will be on the feedback of the show and the platform. Please try and respond to that message also. And I'm sure you are going to be one of those supporters who will be supporting our messaging service also. Thank you very
Thank you.
much, Junaid.
I
Thank you
think
for your time.
I want
We
to
will
thank
catch
you
you again.
actually for inviting me, and really appreciate your, and I'm glad that I'm here, and we've been talking about it. But definitely, I'm a supporter of CXO for sure.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Junaid. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Have a nice day. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.